Alright, it is time to make our pancakes. Now I'm going to do some pancakes that has a little bit of coconut flour in there. So, open this up here. I'm going for a half cup. We got our half cup. Put that in there. Next thing is going to be our regular flour. I'm just going to go for a cup. And we're going for 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Now, because I'm actually doing this now, making it up as I go, I may adjust things depending. Do a pinch of salt. Sift it together. I like to sift more than once. And I am going to go add some sugar, but I don't want to add a whole lot of sugar to it, just enough to get some sweetness. So let me grab some sugar. I think we're going to go with 3 tablespoons. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add my liquid into the middle. I want to make sure we get this nice and smooth. And see how it falls. I want to actually add just a smidge more liquid. Because you gotta understand that when your pancakes sit for a little bit, they do thicken up on their own. So I try to err on a little bit on the thinner side, where we get see how that drifts just nice like that off? That's what I want. Awesome. Don't want to overdo with the beating. Now we're going to take it the pan. All right, so I'm setting up over here. Got my oil because we're going to have to replenish. Got my pan. And I always do like an overhand test to feel if I can feel the heat. Now I feel the heat pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and put that a little lower. Also, I'm going to add some butter. It's always great to have a little butter in with your oil. helps cook into the pancake, which is always awesome. So butter goes in. Okay, you see that? Now I think we're good enough to start. I got a little scoop here. And I'm not scooping using the whole entire thing to scoop because it's just going to be too big of a pancake. Enough to get in there. Spread it out. And also adjust the heat if it's not bubbling up fast enough or you see any type of issues or anything like that. Everyone's thing, and I see it now, right now, it's starting to bubble up on the sides, which is really nice. I want you to get in there and see how the pancakes are looking. At a lower heat like this, it allows the pancake to absorb some of that butter mixture. Which I personally like. Take me out a plate. Going under, flipping, feel free to go a little bit darker, which I probably will go a little bit darker on the next ones to allow it to sit on the regular side a little bit. I do like to press down a little bit. Not too hard, but just enough that if there is any batter that is not completely cooked, that it kind of leaches out. Flip it back over and allow it to cook on that side some more. Alright, it only needs a minute or so. Take them off. Now, as you can see, the smoke coming off. I'm going to need some more oil. I'm going to have to put on this. Bring it down a little bit because now we got it going. The temperature's up. So now we need to go ahead and turn that down so that we are not burning our pancakes. Okay. I do a little bit of tappity tap tap. Now we can see how it's bubbling up on the sides a lot quicker because the heat of the pan is a bit higher than it was previously when we first started, which makes perfect sense. Now this time we're going to allow it to go a bit longer than we did before. know if you guys can really see. But we're going to let it go just a smidge longer, and then we're going to flip it over. The same thing. So I'm going to tackle it now. With this batter, it doesn't really bubble up too much on the top, but you do kind of see how it flipped over a lot better now that I had let it go a little bit longer. That's really what you want. You want it to look just like this. It's really nice, very fluffy, very delicious. Like I said, with this batter, you're not going to see a bunch of bubbles on the top. You may see a little bit starting to form. That's when you need to flip it over. Otherwise, you're going to overdo it. I'm not going to squish the pancakes down yet. I really do want it to have some time to do its thing. Cook on the other side before I do that. Then also, what I'm going to do for these is to add a little bit more butter. And we have that oil in there to prevent the butter from just merely burning. So a little switchy switch. Now, this is a great time to go ahead and smush down. So anytime, you don't want to smush super hard, just enough to alert you to any batter that may be still inside and not fully bleached out. I'm sure you can see it, just a little bit of stuff that's coming through at the top. Put it over again. Let the rest of it cook for just like a minute. We're going to take them out. Awesome sauce. We're taking them out now. Remember, you don't want to overdo it. See how that looks there? Again, I'm going to turn it down, turn the pep down a little bit. Go back in there with the oil. Boom. And we're going to finish off this batter. Don't overcrowd your pan. This batter does not spread a whole lot because these are a bit of fluffier pancake. And also remember, texture and everything is going to be slightly different because we added the coconut flour to the pancakes. Doing the same thing as before. We're looking for those bubbles to form on the sides. Let me get a little closer for you guys. And you see how they're forming on the sides? Little bubbles. Now we're just going to wait for just a little tiny bit of action to start at the very top of the pancake. Not too much. Because like I said, with this batter, if you let it go too long, it's going to get way too dark. And we don't want that. And I can always see the browning happening. Alright, this is the last batch I have. You see those? I already took out my sausages out of the freezer. We've got these over here, and I'm going to do just a couple of them as a side dish to go along with my, well, accompaniment, not really a side dish. My little baby one here. And of course, if you let it go a little bit longer, you don't really have to always flip it over because these are good. the same exact pan that we just had add a little more fat. Same exact pan we have our pancakes. Now that we firm that up, we're going to add in our sausage. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do 3. Odd numbers are always really nice. And we're just going to let that cook. This is our homemade sausage we made in the last video. And with these, you want to make sure that the meat gets cooked about halfway before you flip it over. So don't just flip it over, you know, as soon as it starts to do something, you know. You want to let that meat cook up to the sides a little bit, and then flip it over. Ideally, you want to try to just flip it one time, but sometimes things don't work out that way and you got to flip it more than once, which is totally okay. Our meat is not frozen. You don't want to put frozen meat in there. Our meat is just very cold. And we're not going to have more meat hit it. It's going to be kind of, you know, all the fat's kind of going to just go out. But the chilled is going to slowly melt as it comes up to temperature. That way we keep that juiciness inside of the sausage. Now, this is looking pretty good. The smaller one. See how we have it about there? Done. Alright, we're going to allow this to cook all the way and show you the end product. Here is the finished product. That is our sausage we made together, our pancakes. This is a peach jam, homemade, topped with a dollop of butter. Yummy!